You need to watch this video if you're struggling with self-confidence and self-esteem. I'm creating this video because I know there are a lot of men suffering with low confidence, with low self-esteem, and I don't want you to be one of them. Today, I want to talk about why you should stop being so nice, why you should stop being this nice guy. Okay, for start, let's define here what makes a person a nice person, nice guy, nice girl. By nice, I mean someone in their eyes they will recognize themselves as a good person. Okay, they will justify the behavior and they're going to say they are good. I'm lying to this person right now. I'm not being really honest, and I have the best intentions in my heart. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to make them suffer. I don't want to whatever. I'm thinking about them, and they're going to tell a story like that just by the behavior. And really what is behind is they are looks outside, they're putting out others' needs before them. And in fact, it's the opposite. They're thinking about themselves because they are aiming to get approval. They are aiming for uh, when they make people happy, they get the validation, the friendship, whatever they are, they have the need of. Okay, so they are really being dishonest here. So they're gonna tell themselves the story to justify the behavior. They are good in their eyes, and they cannot see. There is a lot of deceptions and lies. And a good person doesn't need to lie. A good person doesn't need to use the resource of deception, manipulation to provide their own needs. They can be honest upfront. They can be authentic. Okay, they can make it clear upfront their intentions they have. So, and this even like a more attractive. I know by experience. When I was living in New Zealand a few years ago, to start approaching like a stranger and start talking to people, I was so low confidence that I have to use scripts, stories, icebreakers, and all sorts of resource to start a conversation because I didn't believe myself. I didn't think that I was enough. Just the way I was questioning about my English. My English would be good enough. So I was so concerned about a lot of things that I need to bring with me those tools, and I was going to pick one of them. That depends on the case, on the situation. I remember that I was going to approach girls that I was attracted to, and I start with a really BS story, like, "Hey, I have this friend in Brazil, and my friend has a girlfriend, and he asked me to do this, this, and that." The thing is, I didn't have this friend. This situation wasn't real. I didn't care about the answer because their story was just a made up story. So what I was aiming for was to get the girl's number, to kiss the girl, and things like that. And I was so stuck in my head, like, and I know there was a process. There was a lot of dating codes out there teaching like the 12 steps to get a girl, so many steps to do this and that, following this process and stuff. And however, the problem with that is you're not being yourself. So even you follow these steps might work because they are created a certain way and they're having tests. But the thing is, even when you get the prize, it's not 100% good, because those steps are getting the result, not you, you know. So if you remove these steps of the equation, you're not going to feel like you are enough. And what I noticed was, of course, I started with this and I didn't stop there. I was taking risks, So in some point, I stopped it, like using those lines, those icebreakers, those scripts, and I started being more bold and being more honest, about my intentions, about who I was, and set the expectation from the beginning. And I remember at some point I was just going to the person that I was going to talk, and I was introducing myself. So, hey, I'm Rod Katsumata. I just saw you from over there, and I thought I would come over and introduce myself. I saw from over there, really beautiful. I want to talk to you, things like that. So it was took me some time because I was really low confidence and stuff. And the fun thing was, even when I was getting the results using those scripts, was hard for me to be in that character, playing the persona. I remember one time I got a date with this girl, and I was uh, uh, so trying so hard, to impress her, invite her for a date and stuff, and she accepted. And the next day, well, the thing is that the day that I invited her to go out, I was pretending to be this bad boy guy, black t-shirt. I had like a dog tag here, and my behavior was really posh and stuff, and with this mask, wearing the mask like a bad boy and stuff. And she accepts. However, I forgot next day, during the date to bring the bad guy back. So I was just being myself, and it was really awkward situation because I couldn't maintain that character, speaking the way, and being that. When I became more like myself, the interaction was really weird. And that's the problem when you're faking. When you're faking, it's hard to keep on doing. Much better is when you start being yourself from begin, because you're gonna know like you're enough. You know, you are good enough. You don't need to pretend. You don't need to change anything in your schedule. You don't need to buy new clothes or use a new perfume, whatever. You are enough. And if the person is with you, is because they really want to stay with you. They really want to be your friends. They really want to be your partner. They really want to go on a business with you, whatever it is. If the person is stick, when they start like getting to know you, the real you, you're doing the right thing. They're a really good match for you. When you're pretending, that's the tricky part here, because when you're pretending and creating and maintaining this fake version of you, they might like that because they're gonna get a lot of benefit from that. And one day they try to risk and be more of you, display more of you. First, they will not recognize because they never had in touch with this part of yourself. And second, they might not like it. And you cannot blame them for that. You create this. You create the expectation that you always going to pay the bills, that you're always gonna give like a lift, that you're always going to do something for them. Answer the call whenever they call you. Doesn't matter if it's really early in the morning or late in the night. You're always going to be there for them. So the day you say like, no, thank you, no, that's enough, or you change something, okay, I'm not going to pay the bills anymore. Or just today, I'm not going to do it today. They're going to feel like, hey, what are you doing? And you cannot blame because you start like this. And when you start like showing more of yourself, they're going to leave. But the thing here, they never should be in your life in the first place. And that's the problem about being too nice. You see yourself as a good person. You're not allowing people to get to know about you. You're just using this pretend game to get something from others. Can be like a physical validation, kissing someone, having sex with someone, so you pretend to get what you want, getting like affection from others, compliments, fishing for compliments and stuff. So because you're not providing for your own needs, you're using this scheme to get from others. And let's be honest here, a good person doesn't act like that. So can you call yourself good when you behave like this? I don't think so. And I understand like a lot of people, they avoid certain situations because also they don't want to hurt others. And this might come from a good place. Like they're really generous, they're really kind people, they don't want to hurt others. But still, even when it comes from a good intention, the effect is not good. Because first, you don't have control about other people's feelings. And you shouldn't be looking for that. Like, hey, how can I make you happy? I'm gonna make a decision for you. I'm gonna make you happy. If you want it or not, doesn't matter. You know, how I'm not gonna to hurt your feelings. So I believe you're so weak, you cannot handle with whatever happens. That I'm gonna remove the possibility of having such a kind of pain because I don't trust you're capable of huddling. Not capable of dealing with this. Okay, much better, right? So that's the thing. Like you're taking this, making decisions for others. Would you like if someone do the same with you? Like taking decisions for you because they feel like you're not good enough to make decisions. You might get wrong, and you might not be able to handle with whatever happens. Probably not, right? So it's the same. Like you're judging others, you not trust them. They are capable of dealing with whatever happens. So, and you're not responsible for other people's feeling. What happened when you start like acting like that is you start using a lot of techniques, a lot of manipulation, a lot of deception in the process. So there is no way you can have a really good life, and appreciate yourself in this process because it's going to step on your core values all the time. You're going to hurt yourself all the time. And the worst part is there is no guarantee it's going to work because even when you try to please someone, it's beyond your control. I'm going to share a personal story here with you. Okay, can I? Is that okay? So please don't share this with others, only between us here. Uh, long time ago, I used to have a lot of hair. A long time ago, I was with my father in another town, really small town here in Brazil. 30,000 people back then, today a little bit more. And my sister was living there with the husband. That day was just them, uh, one couple there, plus my father and I. And it was my birthday. So my father just told, "Hey, Rod, let's go out. I want to buy a cake for you so we can celebrate your birthday." It was really simple, not a lot of things, cake and a Coke. And that's it, just for four of us. And when we went to the store to buy the cake, he asked me like, "Hey, which one is your favorite?" Well, good. I can pick. That's awesome. So I picked one like, "Hey, I want this one." And he told me like, "No, I don't want this. I don't like this." So, okay, pick another one. Oh, cool. So I was looking there and, "Hey, I want this one. Looks good." So he told me like, "I don't like this." So, okay, I'm starting to understand here where we're going, right? And I told him, "You know what? Pick the cake yourself." He was the one who was going to buy the cake. And I noticed that didn't matter which one I pick, he'd never agree with. So let's make it easy for us. Pick the cake you want. So he told me like, "Oh, but it's your birthday. You should pick." No, no, I'm okay. Any cake you buy it. And I was being dishonest because I wasn't okay with any cake. But the thing is, I just noticed it wouldn't work, and I didn't know what I know right now. So my best decision was you pick yourself. And he chose there like a really simple one, like a normal cake, a little bit of chocolate on top. I think so. Was cinnamon. It was cinnamon, not chocolate. Okay, cinnamon on top. And he bought that cake. We went to my sister's house. We just have like a small singing there. Happy birthday song and stuff, and cut the cake. So we started cutting and serving the cake. And as soon as he bite the cake, he started complaining like, "Hey, you know what? I don't like this. I don't know what they're putting on top. I don't like this." And I asked him, I use as a bait, and I said, like, "What? Chocolate?" And I said, "Yes, yes, I don't like this." So I told like, "You can't eat because it's not chocolate. This is cinnamon." Okay. So he was the person that chose the cake, you know, by his own standards, and criteria there. And when he started like eating, he wasn't happy with that. And he started complaining even without the full knowledge about what he was complaining about it. How can I make someone happy like that? He was my father, and how can I make this person happy? So I remember when I was like around 20, 22 years old, I told him, like, look at his eyes. You know, back in the time, I was living in the same place with him, so the dinner room, and I told him, like, hey, I'm not gonna live to please you. I quit. I'm done with trying to please you, to make you happy. I'm gonna honor you because you're my father, so I'm gonna make the decisions thinking a way to honor you as a father. But guess what? I'm not aiming for your approval. I'm not aiming to make you happy, because that's beyond my control. That's beyond my ability. It's just not gonna work. It's too much, too effort, and there is no guarantee. And I try, man. I try a lot. Okay. So, and it's the same, if you're trying to please others and make people happy and you sacrificing yourself, you don't have any guarantee it's going to work, and you're going to get hurt a lot in the process. Okay. Other thing is, they say that nice guys finish last, and they come across as like they are putting others' needs before them. And as I shared here before, like they're not really being honest about that. Okay. So why we do like this? Why we choose to be this nice guy? First, I believe because the parenting, when we used to be like kids at the time, childhood, we create this connection that when I do something, the adults like it, I'm good. We create this, we bound this with our identity of being good. I'm good because I do things that make people happy. So worked for me when I was a kid, and now I'm trying to do more of this when I'm an adult. You know what I mean? So I believe that the way of living is pleasing, making other people happier. Pleasing others. And when I don't have really good self-esteem, when I don't have really good self-confidence, I don't respect myself, when I don't have boundaries, and I'm always going to search for validation outside of me. Just that's what happens. So what do you need? What can you do? What can you do about it? Well, it's simple. It's not easy. Okay. It's a long journey. If you're doing this for a long time, if you're watching this video here, you're gonna be like between at least 18 years old, most likely 30, 40 years old. So doesn't matter. You have been doing this for a long time. So you need to break this behavior, and you're gonna face a resistance. You're gonna get scared. You're gonna think twice, guessing yourself. You know, and you have to step out of this comfortable zone. I don't like to use this expression because I don't know. I know this is not comfortable. Okay, I know that living this is really hard, and you have to be brave here. Because you don't have confidence yet. You have to use courage. You have to be brave and allow yourself to take risks. Allow yourself to be in an interaction that you do something that you're open to people to make bad comments about you. You're open to people to criticize you, to give you bad labels, to lose friendships, because you start like living by your values. So first, I would say find out what is really important to you, your core values. What's really matter for you. There is a lot of ways you can do that, but how can I say? Deep in your heart, like when you step on your values, it hurts. You can feel uh, something's not right for you in your terms. You can see the red flag. It's there for you. You have to ignore by choice. Okay, require effort of you. Step on your values, your core values. If not really your core values, you might not even notice, not even care, and that's okay. We have different values. It just make us more. There is more variety. Well, different. Okay, that's okay. Supposed to be like that. But you know when you step on your core values. Okay. Other thing is when you have the clarity about what's really important for you, is start making a decision based on that. And doesn't this will not guarantee that everything is going to be all right for you, that you can get away with whatever, because now you're living by your values. The thing here is you know that's the right decision for you despite of the consequence, despite of the outcome. What I mean by that, well, in 2010, I used to work in a mine here in Brazil, and I used to work with IT, so I was giving support to the users and people there. And my supervisor came to me and told me like, "Hey, Rod, I need you to open a call, you know, and to fix this monitor. It was like an old one, the big one with two. And but don't tell them about this because this was one mistake of us. And if you share this with them, they will not fix. So okay, I understand. So you wanted me to call them, ask for support, and don't tell everything. Otherwise, they will not provide the support. And yeah, that's it. And no, man, I'm not gonna do it because I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have to lie. I have to hide. And for me, it was feeling the same. Like I cannot be honest. So something's shady here. I didn't like it, and I told him like, man, I'm not gonna do it. If I call them, I'm gonna tell the whole story here. But so, but I'm your boss. You have to do what I told you. And I checked with me, and I believe like, well, this might cost my job. I'm challenging my boss. He gave me like a direct order, and I'm challenging him right now. So like, man, I'm not gonna do it. No, I'm not gonna lie. So if you want me to call them, I'm gonna tell the full story. And he was really angry at me. So he didn't do anything at the moment, but then he called the manager, his supervisor, the guy above him. And the manager called me. And I was waiting for them to call me, and I was reading a book. And I'm a Christian, so I was doing my prayer, and there was like a Bible verse that was reflecting on that. And man, I'm gonna lose my job. And well, it's just life, happens. Not really pleasant thing to live. And I was willing to take the risk. So when the manager called me to start the conversation, he asked me like, "What happened?" And I told what happened. Like, why didn't you make the call? And I told him exactly the same thing. Like, I'm not gonna lie. If you wanted me to make the call, I can do it. I'm gonna tell the full story. I'm not gonna hide anything. And then he just changed the direction. He was talking to me here, and then changed to talk to my supervisors. Hey, why didn't you make the call yourself? Like, what are you waiting for? I didn't lose my job that day, you know. And I could. It might be a different person. They have a different reaction. I was willing to lose, but I wasn't willing to step on my core values. So that's what I meant by maybe you're gonna lose your job if you're honest. Maybe you're gonna lose the girl or the guy if you're living by your values. That's a price that you might have to pay. There is this famous tennis player. I don't know how to say his name. He's from Poland. One of the greatest of all the times now. And he didn't want to take the vaccine about the virus, back in the time. And he was really, really close to beat one records and be one of the most big winners of all the time. And everything that he needed was take the injection, and he could be able to travel and win another championship and get this label, this new title, like the guy with the biggest amount of winners. However, he didn't take the injection because his beliefs. And I remember he's having this interview, and the guy said, "Hey, really, are you really willing to not reach that because of this ceiling thing?" And he told him, like, "Yeah, sure, I am, because of my values. I don't want others to have control about my body and stuff." And he was sharing his point of view. And one thing he made it really clear is he made a decision that could affect his career, as a professional tennis player, based on his values. Uh, if he changed, he probably would make more money. You probably would be a little bit more famous. You know, the thing was, this would come with the cost of hurting his values. So that's the thing. It might come with a cost, but that's the right cost to pay. You're not going to feel shame, and that's a really important thing here. When you're being nice, there is a lot of shame and guilt. The shame that you're not good enough, the shame that whatever is true for you, you're going to make people be angry, sad, and you cannot express your feelings and your thoughts. So there is a lot of shame and guilt, and you're going to blame yourself for whatever happens next. And when you start like living by your values, you clean this part of your life. There is no shame, because it was the right thing to do, even with the high price of making people unhappy, not being pleasant and stuff, maybe at the cost of money sometimes. For example, you agreed to sell something to someone for a certain price, and you made a promise about that. Okay, I'm going to sell to you, and that's the price. And maybe just a few minutes later, someone comes to you and offer like double amount of money. The thing is, you made a promise just before. Are you going to keep it, or are you going to sell? And that talks a lot about your values, how much you value your own words. You know what I mean? If you're always looking for take advantage, and using the moments and things like that, you're gonna compromise your values. You're gonna compromise your integrity. So being a nice guy is not even close to being nice. It's everything but nice. It's not nice for you. You don't show respect, appreciation. You don't show love for yourself. And it's the same for others, because how can you love someone that much? How can you respect others that much that you cannot be honest with them? You cannot allow them to know, about the truth, what's really going on. So there is no way of being this nice person as being like a healthy, or how can I say? Yeah, it's not good. It's really not good. It might be a way of surviving, but it's not a way of living. Now you have to make a choice. Do you want to go through your life surviving, stuck in a job that you hate, that you don't get anything but money, that there is no purpose for you, having a lot of friends that you don't connect deeply with them, they only take advantage of you, you know, that you didn't feel like you choose them, you just happy to be with them because they are the ones that accept you, they allow you to be present, not necessarily accept you as you are, just as long you do whatever they wanted, you're okay. But otherwise, they will not keep being friends with you. And one story about that I want to share here is I was talking to this girl, American girl, and she was saying like about the best friend she had, and she had this friend for 15 years. She was always available for her friend. However, her friend had like a restricted times to talk to her. So whenever the friend called her, she was there and was answering the call. Whenever she feels like reaching the friend, she has to respect the timeline. Also, the friend was taking advantage of her. She was always available, willing to please the friend and stuff. But the friend didn't treat her the same way. And one day, the first time she displayed like some boundaries, her best friend got offended, and they ended the relationship. You know, so that's the problem when you have this kind of friends. You don't have really a good friend. You just have at the most a deal. You do this, and I tolerate you as long as you keep doing this. As long as you keep buying like drinks for me, as long as you keep paying my bills, as long as you give me like favors whenever I ask, you're good enough to be close to me. Otherwise, go away. So you don't have really a deep connection here. It's just a bargain that you're holding, and for as long as you can keep on that, which you can imagine, it's really not good. It's not a good deal. So what do you want to do with your life? How long do you think you can keep on doing this? Going out with people that are not good fit for you, being dishonest with yourself, step on your values, not appreciate yourself and the amazing gifts that you have, question yourself all the time, struggling to make decisions. It's not really healthy and sustainable lifestyle. The good news is you can change because I changed. I changed. And I used to be this kind of person. And when you start connect with your values, setting boundaries, start saying no, to others, you can see a lot of difference here. You can see how this is going to boost your sense of worth, sense of confidence, and it's going to be amazing. It's really the other side of the river, the side that is good, that the grass is green, that you connect with people, they really love you as you are, and you don't have to change for them. They accept you with all flaws you might have, with the qualities you have, and they're gonna be like feeling lucky they have you, and you're gonna feel the same, like wow, the bond is really profound, it's really meaningful, and that's a different lifestyle. So I want to invite you, if you understand that you're done with being nice, you're done with being this doormat, people like take advantage of you. If you want to move to the other side, of the river, where you can enjoy your life, enjoy being yourself, live with purpose, and even to reconnect with your faith, because there is no way you can live this way and have really spiritual growth in the process. So, and you understand that having someone to support you in this process, so we're going to keep you accountable, challenge you, and give you support so you can make the difference here, create the change. You can count on me. Don't be a stranger. I'm going to share my email here with you. Send me an email, connect with me, and let's be in touch. I'm going to be happy to support you in your journey. That's the video for today. I'm Rod Katsumata. I hope you got lots of value from this. Be in touch. See you next time. Bye-bye.